Yields back. Gentleman from Massachusetts is recognized.
Madam Speaker, I yield myself the remaining time.
The gentleman is recognized.
So, Madam Speaker, let me remind my colleagues that Mitch McConnell led 3 efforts to increase the debt limit under President Trump. He's voted over 30 times to increase the debt limit by over $20 trillion during his career. He worked with President Obama in 2015, saying then, I made it very clear that after the November election, that we're certainly not going to shut down the government or default on the national debt. We'll figure some way to handle that. What's different now? Not a thing, nothing. He did the right thing then. He's simply unwilling to do the right thing today. Instead, he's making up new precedent out of whole cloth. The impacts of which would be devastating. So this is not just about Senator McConnell. Every Republican in the House and Senate should do the right thing and raise the debt ceiling. It has never been the responsibility of just one party to ensure that America pays its bills, and to pretend otherwise is to blindly be following a policy that will send our economy off a cliff. So I just have to say to my Republican friends, stop doubling down on the insanity. At some point, we all have to act like grown-ups around here and get the people's business done. Too many of my friends on the other side of the aisle continue to get on one knee and genuflect in front of the altar of Donald Trump and all the stuff that goes with that. Well, you know what? It's time that we all act like serious legislators. You know, we have a discussion on immigration and COVID testing. You know, we ought to have that discussion in a different context, not on the debt ceiling bill. But I would again say to my colleagues, I don't even know how many members of the Republican conference are vaccinated. We have people who come here and fight against efforts to get everybody vaccinated, who fight against, communities that want to encourage people to wear masks in order to protect the citizens of that community. We are here to legislate. And this bill will fulfill one of the most basic responsibilities Congress has, and that is to ensure that America pays its bills. We always have, Madam Speaker. And, to try to make this debate into a debate about reconciliation, by the way, which we want to pay for as much of it as possible, so it won't add to the deficit and the debt. But to make it about that, that's a future debate. This is about paying all the bills that were accumulated, 97% of which was accumulated not under Joe Biden, but under his predecessor. Stuff that my friends on the other side of the aisle voted for. And to turn this into a political football about what might happen down the road is really ridiculous. It's dangerous. It's reckless. My friends have said that they want, Democrats to, basically carry these bills. Happy to do it. On our side, nobody wants to default. On our side, we all understand the consequences. Mark Zandi, an economist from Moody's, said that it would be such a catastrophe if we defaulted on our debt that it would impact generations and generations and generations into the future. Every economist, no matter what their political affiliation may be, has said the same thing. So we have to do this. And again, to try to make this about something else is just trying to avoid dealing with reality. And I would say to my colleagues, all we're asking for now, no longer asking for your vote. That's a waste of time at this particular point. I've seen all the press releases. I've seen the talking points come out of the RCCC and the RNC, and I mean, it's maddening to see how this issue could be so distorted. So we're not asking for that anymore. You've already decided to make this a political issue. We're just asking you to get the hell out of the way, to allow us to keep this government running on track and not in default. That should not be a controversial issue. It should not be an issue that people walk away from. When you accumulate bills, you got to pay for them. And so with that, Madam Speaker, I urge my colleagues to vote for this rule so we can prevent a completely avoidable economic meltdown. I yield back the balance of my time, and I move the previous question of the resolution.
Gentleman yields back.